A very good morning to all of you, my dear friends. This is Shafiq Ahmed, and you're all welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. Let's learn together.
So, very good morning to all of you once again, my students. Now, we are going to share that we have seen previously in our last class that Ibrahim Lodi lost the battle of Panipat in the year 1526, and that marked the end of the Delhi Sultanate and started Mughal dynasty from there on. But after that, what we have to discuss, there are some few facts, informations that I wanted to share with you. That's why I have gathered up, collected those information, whether did you know or not. That Qutbuddin Aibak, who was the founder of the Delhi Sultanate, was actually a slave, was actually a slave of Muhammad Ghori, and Muhammad Ghori was an Afghan ruler. So this is one of the fact that you must remember, that Qutbuddin Aibak, the founder of Delhi Sultanate, was the slave of Muhammad Ghori, the Afghan ruler. Next, Razia Sultan was the only female ruler of Delhi Sultanate. And there was only one female ruler of Delhi Sultanate, and that was Razia Sultan. Amir Khusru was the first writer to use Urdu as a medium of poetic expression also. So Amir Khusru was the first man who has used Urdu while writing a poem to express his views with the help of a poem. Amir Khusru was the first man who used Urdu there. Next fact is what the Delhi Sultans granted ikhtas. Ikhtas means the part of the land or the zameen को बोलते हैं. तो the Delhi Sultans granted ikhtas or the land to the military chiefs to maintain a given number of troops. So Delhi Sultans were giving different parts of land to the military officers so that they can get the revenue, get the income from those land, from the farmers in the form of taxes, and from those taxes they can maintain their number of troops, means soldiers or army. So for maintaining the troops or maintaining the army, they have given lands to the military chiefs, so that they can from themselves collect the tax and maintain their expenses, which is known as ikhtas. Ikhtas is a grant of the land. Muhammad Tughlaq was considered as a mixture of opposite. Muhammad Tughlaq was also known as mixture of opposite because he used to take decisions and then he used to reverse the decisions, and that's why we have seen many times that he has reversed his conditions, and that is one of the reason he is known as the mixture of opposite also. So these are the facts, my students, that I wanted to share with you all in this chapter. Let us go through a few more things. Administration and the consolidation. Consolidation means making it stronger under the Khaljis and the Tughlaqs. So these were the two very famous dynasties who ruled in the Delhi Sultanate for very long time. That's why we have to see about their administration and their consolidation process, how they have administered the city and how they have consolidated and make them stronger under the Khaldis and the Tughlaqs, that we have to see. So let us start. We all know that Delhi Sultanate is not a small place, is not a small thing to rule. So it was a very vast kingdom. The kingdom was very vast and it needed reliable matlab bharosemand. So it needed reliable governors as well as administrators to manage the affairs of the kingdom. We know that Delhi Sultanate was a vast one throughout the India. So even at that time there was no Pakistan and there was no other different neighbors, Nepal, all these all were together, and it was a very vast country. So it was not easy to control. So it needed reliable bharosemand governors chahiye tha and reliable administrators also to manage the affairs of the kingdom. So appointing aristocrats as governors, they favored their special slaves called Bandagan to become the administrator and governor. Means the Delhi Sultans, what they have done, they had not given many opportunities to the nobles, those who were living in their court. They were not appointing the nobles as governors. Whom they were appointing? The Delhi Sultans were appointing बंदगन्स known as special slaves, यानी उनके खास गुलाम होते थे, and special slave यानी special लोग होते थे. And they used to appoint, means Delhi Sultans, they used to appoint those persons as their governors, and those special slaves were called as bandagan. And remember the name. So before giving them administrative and governor post, before giving this post to the bandagans, those bandagans were very carefully trained first. They used to get the training, since they were to occupy some of the most important offices in the kingdom, because they have to control important post and important offices for the king. So that's why these special slaves known as bandagan, they were given special training so that they can control and they can control and manage the affairs of the kingdom. The sultans trusted and they depended heavily on this bandagans. तो सुल्तान लोग जो है इन पर बहुत ही विश्वास करते थे, और विश्वास करने के साथ साथ इन पर डिपेंड भी करते थे. They used to depend largely on these bandagans. bandagans के ऊपर वो डिपेंड भी करते थे और ट्रस्ट भी करते थे उनके ऊपर, यानी बहुत विश्वास करते थे. Division of the Delhi Sultans. So how they were divided, how the Delhi Sultans were divided, Delhi Sultanate was divided. So now we have to discuss about the type of administration, how they have divided the Delhi Sultans, how they have divided this vast kingdom so that they can rule over, they can control. So what they have done, the Delhi Sultanate was divided into subas, or known as provinces also, yani different regions. They have divided the Delhi Sultanate into different region, into different area bhi keh sakte hain aap, suba bhi keh sakte hain, and you can also say provinces. So the Delhi Sultanate, they have divided their different states into different subas, and which were again subdivided into shiks. और वो सूबस को भी फिर डिवाइड करते थे. कैसे? They have divided subas into shiks also. So at the top was the subas. Subas were the top, and under the subas they have divided the subas into shiks also. Okay, subas ke baad shiks, and each suba was headed by a mukti, or you can say the governor of that particular suba. Suba was headed by a governor, or that governor is also known as mukti. So remember both the names, Mukti or the governor, they were the head of the Suba, or you can say they were head of the different provinces or the estates. And the Sheikh was headed by a Shikdar, because Subas were again divided into six, so these six were headed by the Shikdar. So now there were two heads, है ना. Suba के जो head होते थे उनके हम लोग कहते हैं मुक्ति, और जो Shiks के जो head होते हैं उनको Shikdar कहते हैं. And the Sheikh was again further divided into parganas. अब Sheikh को भी जो वो लोग divide करते थे parganas में. Now you can see Suba divided into Sheikhs, and Sheikh again divided into parganas. And each pargana was consisted or having different many villages. बहुत सारी village को मिलाकर pargana बनता था. So let us start from the village. Many villages are joined together and they are known as parganas, and many parganas are joined together, they are known as shiks, and many shiks are joined together, then they will form subas. The head of the subas were the subadar, or you can say mukti, or you can say governor. So the head of the subas were known as mukti or governor, while the head of the shiks were known as shikdar, and each shiks were also divided into parganas. And each pargana was having several villages, और हर परगना के अंदर बहुत सारे गांव आते थे, 10, 20, 50 ऐसे भी हो सकते हैं. Each pargana was headed by an amil. अब परगना के भी head होते हैं, so each pargana was headed by an amil. This is similar to that what we are having nowadays. Our country is divided into state, and our state is divided into different districts, and districts are divided into different local panchayats and villages. So likewise they were also having, or we can say we are following the sultans of the Delhi also. So each pargana was headed by an amil. Remember, important people in a village included the खुद्स and the मुकद्दम्स. अब विलेज में जो बहुत important लोग होते थे उनका नाम क्या था? There were few important persons in the villages. They were known as khuds and mukaddams, or the landowners. So जो बड़े जमींदार होते थे उनको हम लोग जो कहते हैं मुकद्दम्स. And there were also people known as khuds also, and there were also people known as patwari. Patwari means the accountant, those who used to keep all the accounts of the expenditures and the income of the village. तो वो जमींदार होते थे कुछ important persons. There were khuds also, and there were patwari also. These are the important persons who used to live in the villages. Now, if you have any doubts, so let us move towards our next topic, that is maintaining of the army by the Delhi Sultans. How they were maintaining the army. Let us see. The Sultanate rulers took great interest in looking after and maintaining their army, because the army helped the Sultan to expand his kingdom also, and to defend the kingdom from the armies, and from especially the Mongols, from the foreigners. So that's why the Delhi Sultans, the Sultanate rulers, they all were interested in maintaining large army, so that it will help the Sultan to expand his kingdom also, to increase his kingdom also, and even to defend and save themselves from the foreign attacks, from other attackers. So that's why they were quite interested in maintaining the army. The army consisted of the infantry, और यू कैन से द फुट सोल्जर्स, है ना. आर्मी में कौन कौन से टाइप के लड़ने वाले लोग होते थे, हु वर द सोल्जर्स. सो बहुत सारे फुट सोल्जर्स यानी जो पैदल चलने वाले होते थे. दे यूज्ड टू वॉक on foot by themselves, and they used to fight for the king. They are also known as infantry, those who walk. There were cavalry also, means horse soldiers, those soldiers who were there on the horse, or those who were on the elephants. They are known as cavalry. So there were cavalry also, or you can say horse soldiers, है ना, बहुत सारे soldiers जो घोड़े पर बैठकर लड़ते थे. And there were archers, यानी जो तीर चलाते थे. तो used to have archery skills, है ना, वो bow and arrow के मदद से they used to have an archery skill also. So the army consisted of, you can say, foot soldiers, horse soldiers, elephants, and soldiers were also there on the elephants also, and there were archers also, है ना, यानी कि तीर चलाने वाले लोग भी होते थे army में. Horses were usually imported from Arabia, because the horses which are found in Arabia, Saudi Arabia, are very strong, and they have great height also, and they live long also. They have long life also. They are very strong. So that is the reason why those horses were imported from Arabia. Alauddin Khalji also maintained the record of his soldiers, known as चेहरा. अलाउद्दीन खलजी रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन करते थे कि उनके पास कितने सोल्जर्स है और कितने हॉर्सेस है. इवन ही यूज्ड टू मेंटेन द रिकॉर्ड ऑफ द नंबर ऑफ हॉर्सेस आल्सो, एंड ही फॉलोड द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ ब्रांडिंग हिज हॉर्सेस नोन एज दग. और अपने हॉर्सेस के ऊपर में वो ब्रांडिंग करते थे, यानी कि स्टैंप लगाया करते थे कि दिस इज द हॉर्स ऑफ अलाउद्दीन खलजी आर्मी, or this is the horse that has been brought from Arabia. इस टाइप के वो स्टैंपिंग लगाते थे हॉर्स के ऊपर में. That is known as dag also, dag. And the maintenance of the record of the soldiers were known as chehra. The Khaljis and the Tughlaqs, they continued to use the bandagan. And you know about bandagan, that they are the special slaves. You know? Bandagans are special slaves, and who on whom the sultans have a great trust, and they used to depend on them also. These sultans. Okay. Let us move ahead. The Khaljis and the Tughlaqs, they continued to use the bandagans, and they appointed these bandagans, means special slaves, very trusted slaves, very dependable. So the sultans, especially the Khaljis and the Tughlaqs, they used to appoint these bandagans as their general of the army, head of the army, head of the soldiers, and they used to appoint them as the governor also. So these bandagans were very important during Delhi Sultanate. Let us move to our next topic, that is the Iqtas and the Iqtadars. We must know about the Iqta and the Iqtadars. What are all about? Let us see. So, like the earlier sultans, the Khaljis and the Tughlaqs, they appointed their military commanders as governors, or you can say special slaves known as bandagans. They used to appoint them as the governors of those territories, of those areas, or you can say the land also. So those land or the territories were known as Iqta. उसी जमीन जो उनको दिया जाता था military commanders को, so that they can maintain their expenses, उसी जमीन को हम लोग कहते हैं Iqtas, and their holder was known as Iqtadars. एकता को जो कंट्रोल करते थे, those who were having the controlling that particular land, they were known as इक्तदार, या उनको मुक्ति भी कहते थे. They was known as muktis also. And what was the work of the mukti? The duty of the mukti was to lead military campaign wherever the sultan needed. Mukti का काम यही होता था. Then whenever the sultan will call for help from the military, they will have to come there and help sultan. In return for their services, because they were helping sultan to defend, to attack others, to defend from others, so that's why these muktis, they used to collect revenue from their इक्तस. इक्तस मीन्स वो जमीन जो उनको मिलता था, वहां से वो क्या करते थे, रिवेन्यू, या आप कह सकते हैं लगान या टैक्स. दे यूज्ड टू कलेक्ट revenue from those particular land from the farmers, and they used to distribute that particular revenue or the income which was generated from Iqtas, and they used to distribute them as a salary among them. They also paid the soldiers from these revenues. तो सैलरी के तौर पर वो लोग वो revenue को रख लिया करते थे, those muktis. Control over muktis was very necessary if they were assigned इक्तस for a very short period of time. और जब बहुत थोड़े टाइम के लिए अगर उनको दिया जाता था, for particular land they have been given, so उस वक्त बहुत जरूरी होता था, it was very necessary to control those muktis also. तो muktis को control करने के लिए क्या किया गया? The sultans have appointed accountants, which were also known as patwari also. So accountants were appointed by the state to check the amount of revenue collected by those muktis. So वो जो मुक्ति यानी कि इक्तदार लोग जो हैं, जो जमीन में जो भी इनकम आ रहा है, लगान आ रहा है, whatever the tax they are collecting or the revenue, those amount details, है ना, those records are maintained by those accountants, है ना, so that they can not cheat the sultan. They cannot say the sultan that they need more land, they need more money, to maintain the army. So that's why the sultan used to appoint these accountants. So the accountants were not appointed by themselves. These accountants were appointed by the state, or you can say the sultan. So these are all about in this class, my dear students, about Iqtas and Iqtadars. More we will continue in our next class. Till then, stay at home and stay safe, my dear students.
Hope that you have liked the video, and we will meet again in our next video release of the tutorial. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the information of the next release of the tutorial. Please share it with your friends and others also. Thank you for the time being. Take care. Stay at home. Bye bye. Take care.